I want to start by saying Brakate Hawa, Brakate Awashai, Brakate Hawa, Brakate Awashai, Brakate Hawa, Brakate Awashai, Kala Lalium La, Yahweh Bashem Yawashai, Bashem Rakakudash. Alright. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to the awful elect that is pushing this word in four corners, the highways and byways. Once again, all praises, glory, and honor is due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Alright, this is the brother Zakaria here with another lesson, okay? And this lesson gonna pretty much be centered around, you know, the coronavirus. Well, first and foremost, why we should keep the dietary law. Alright, the dietary laws are there as they're called. Alright, you know, and this coronavirus is a primary example of why we should. All right, because according to scientists, all right, is widely regarded that it actually started with these Moabites eating all these unclean animals. You see, eating rabbits, hedgehogs, snakes, snails, and those abomination. All right. Yeah, so I'm just gonna read a little bit on this article and then jump right into it. Alright, so it says a new strain of virus that appeared to have originated in China is spreading rapidly and crossing borders in more than 2,000 confirmed cases worldwide and 56 reported dead of January 26. Alright, now let me jump down here to where it says where it come from. It says coronavirus originate in animals like camels, civets, and bats, and are usually transmissible to humans, but occasionally a coronavirus mutates and can pass from animals to humans, then from humans to humans. Alright? Alright, so basically this is a virus that these animals carry around in their body. Alright? And it's basically because of what they eat. Okay? That's why the Most High give us, dietary laws that we should eat only certain beasts of the field, right? Your cows, your deers, chicken, right? Because these animals only eat certain things, all right? You know, so their body are more clean than these other animals. You see, all right? So with that, let me just, for edification purposes, bring out some of the dietary laws. All right, this started Deuteronomy 14 and 13 and 3, Salakia. It says, "Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing." Yeah, because this whole thing could have been avoided. If these people would have stuck to the dietary law. All right, 11,000 Salakia, 11 million lives would not be at risk if they did. Okay. You see, and many more, millions more. Okay, you see, right? It says, "These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox and the sheep and the goat, that art the roebuck and the fallow deer and the wild goat and the pygarg and the wild ox and the chamois." right? And every beast that parted the hoof and cleft into two claws and chewed the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. All right. So basically, as it comes to animals of the field, all right, wild animals, these are the things that we should eat. Things that have hoofs and chew the cud. All right. Now, some of these things that these Moabite eating, and you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans eating, they don't even have hoof to begin with. All right. And they eating all sort of things. All right. You know, like hedgehog, John, uh, just rodents in general. Not supposed to be eating them thing. All right. We don't know what those things is be eating. Okay. And as the saying go, you are what you eat. All right. These things are omnivorous. All right. They're scavengers. They were meant to clean the earth. Now, if they go and eat another animal that died of his own, right, because of some illness, the disease is gonna stay in their body, right? Now, you go and eat it, and you pick up the same disease too. You see, that's why you're supposed to stick to the basic, you know. All right, and one of the one, all right, that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, which you are the children of Israel today, love to eat is the pig. All right, which the pig is actually one of the worst meat that you could eat. All right, pork. All right, is severely unclean and unhealthy to put in your body. All right, basically eating anything outside of the dietary law is either a slow kill or a quick kill. All right. Yeah, so let's look up some of these animals. It says the ox, the sheep, and the goat. Alright, see what an ox looks like. We all should know what an ox look like, alright? Just for edification purposes, alright? So that's basically like a cow, alright? It's within that family. See? Chewed the cud and parted the hoof, alright? Alright. Right? And this is just for edification purposes. You know, so this looks a lot like an antelope. Something of that family. Right? You know, something like a deer. All right. Let's see, it says camois, chamois. So these meats are all clean. All right, they're all clean, and the Most High give us varieties. All right, you see. Now, why the hell would you wanna, go and risk your life for, some a dirty piece of meat, you know, like a bat or a snake? You see? Hey, that don't even sound like anything you should be eating because a lot of these animals, all right, like your bat and your snakes and your, hedgehogs and all of those nonsense, they actually carry fluids that is dangerous to the human body, all right? But it's not so with these other animals, all right? The clean animals, okay? Because what you have to understand is that the Most High created uh, everything with a purpose, all right? And the purpose of these animals is to be consumed, right? But it's not so with, with your pigs and your bats and your snakes, right? You're not supposed to be eating those things. Okay, so let me continue on the scripture. It says the ark and the roebuck and the fallow deer and the wild goat and the pygarg and the wild ox and the chamois or chamois. For 6, it says, and every beast that parted the hoof and cleaved the cleft into two, and chewed the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. All right. So anything that doesn't meet this requirement, then you shouldn't be eating it. You see, it says, nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as a camel, right? Which the camel is. Look at this. All right, look at this. It says coronavirus originating animals like camels, civets, and bats. All right, you see, and there's one of the animals that the Mosai specifically mentioned, you know, by the way of Moses unto the children of Israel, not to eat. All right, specifically. All right, why? Because because of this. All right, because the Mosai knew this would have happened. Okay, it says, and the ear. All right, those are like your rabbits. All right, and those and the conies. Right, I just added up. Those are basically uh, Esau nonsense. Yeah, this is unclean too. Uh, Most of this stuff contain pork. Yeah, yeah, and stuff like this. All right, these rodents. Okay, like in Guyana over here, I think this is what we call a ackery or a john. All right, you're not supposed to be eating these stuff. Let's see, sure. Uh, Anyway, yeah. So it says the coinies, for they chew the cud, but divide not the hoof. Yeah. So like these rabbits and so forth. Some of them actually eat leaves. Okay, but they do not part the hoof. All right. The Mosai just uh, give these signs. All right. The split hoof and the diet that these animal stick to for indication or to make it, much easier for us to follow these laws. All right, because some of these animals, I personally, never really saw. All right, and actually, like before the truth, never really read about or heard of. All right, so matter of fact, even as of today, all right, till I went back and go through this, that's when I actually looked up some of these animals. All right, and so from for a brother in this truth, all right, let's say uh during destruction, you're living off the grid, all right, it can be simple for you to identify, what animal to eat and what not to eat. You see, all right. It says, therefore they are unclean unto you. Yeah, because their body carries a lot of diseases, all right, a lot of different types of worm and so forth, all right. It says, and the swine, because it divide the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. All right. So you're not even supposed to touch them. All right. All right. You see, it's even unhealthy to touch them. It's like you're unlawful to touch them. All right. It's like you to touch a dead carcass. All right. But the point is, you definitely don't want to put, these type of animal in your body. All right. Let me just see here. It says these are three important parasites found in pigs which pose a risk to humans who ingest them. Yeah, who eat them. All right. Raw or undercooked pork products, and even if it's overcooked, believe it or not, it's still in there. All right. It says these parasites are Trichinella specialis, nematode or rungworm, Tinea solium, a tapeworm, and Toxoplasma gondii, a protozoan or single-celled organism. You see, a single-cell organism is you basically is very difficult to remove a single-cell organism from something. All right, you got to put it under a microscope or something. All right, as long as the meat is still there, these things can be in that meat. All right, no matter how well you cook it, and these things poses real threat to the human body. All right, and you people love some pork and other wild meat, especially you women. All right, you like crabs, oysters. These things is like a delicacy to you people, to you women. But these things is not supposed to be eaten. All right, that's why most of y'all pH imbalance. All right, your period irregular, your vagina smells stink. Okay, it's because of things like these. All right, because a lot of these meat don't even don't even smell good. All right, and like I said earlier, you become what you eat. All right, yeah. So you want to stay the hell away from these meat. All right, because their bodies is different from us. All right, on certain enzyme and bodily fluids that they have, all right, is not compatible with the human body. You see, all right. It says verse 8, it's not here, verse 9, it says, these ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat. All right, so right there off the bat, it's letting you know you should not be eating crab, oysters. Hey, and you women love crab and oysters, all right, and lobsters. It's like, that's the best thing a nigga could do on a date for, get you a crab or lobsters, right? And these are things that you're not supposed to be eating, all right? And this is why y'all, especially you women, y'all crazy. Y'all mental health is all the way messed up, all right? Because like I said once again, you become what you eat, all right? These are not animals, that has certain micronutrients to enable the human body to function normally. All right, it actually have things that work against the human body. You see, all right. That's why you find yourself having split personalities. You're disgruntled. You know, it comes from eating these type of stuff. All right. It says, of all the clean birds ye shall eat. Salakia, let me just go back to verse 10. It says, and whatsoever hath not fins and scales, Slakia, verse 9, it says, these ye shall eat that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat. All right, which means that catfish is unclean. All right, that's not a fish that our people, you know, you so-called blacks, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, whatever y'all calling yourself, love to eat. All right, You know, any fish without scale, you're not supposed to be eating it. You know, even if it has the smallest scale, like a tuna, you could eat it. All right. But if that scale is not there, then you don't eat it. It says, yeah, so like your shark, not supposed to be eating that. All right. It says, and whatsoever hath not fins and scales ye may not eat, it is unclean unto you. All right. So that's that has scale, but also fins as well. All right. So all all reptiles, all right, with scales are excluded. You see, so-called amphibians, all right, that have scales. Your snakes, alligators. All those things are unclean. And there are certain fishes too. I can't remember any right now, but yeah, supposed to stay the hell away from those things. All right. It says Of all the birds ye shall eat, of all clean birds, Salakia, ye shall eat, but these are they which ye shall not eat: the eagle, the ossifrage, and the osprey. Alright? So no eagle, no vulture, none of that. Right? Now let's look up some of these things, for edification purposes. It says a bearded vulture, a scavenger famous for dropping animal bones and live tortoise on top of rocks to crack them open. Right? Get the images. It says, and the glede, and the kite, and the vulture after its kind, and every raven and its kind. Alright, so all those things, the crane, the owl, the ox, you know, all those vulture like birds, you stay the hell away from. Alright? Stay the hell away from. Because like I said once again, a lot of these things are actually uh like why would you want to eat this? You know? A lot of these things are actually um their bodies, is different from us, or I should say vastly different from us, and they carry certain bodily fluid that could harm our body. You see? All right. Now you put in certain things in your body, and your body using up, all of its energy, all right, and inner strength to fight off those diseases. Now, guess what? You don't have any thinking power, all right, and that's simply how it works, all right. Also, now what? Your body become vulnerable to other outside diseases. You see, because it's busy fighting off a disease that is already inside of you. You see? Yeah, that's how it's work. That's the simple logics behind it. You see? Right? It says the owl and the night hawk and the cuckoo and the hawk after its kind, the little owl and the great owl, the swan, all right, and the pelican and the gier eagle and the cormorant and the stork and the heron and after our kind and the lapwing and the bat. See, so bat is specifically mentioned here. All right, and where it's specifically mentioned as well, right here. All right, as a as one of the animals that help cause, or that carries this coronavirus. All right, which led to the epidemic. You see, all right. It says, and every creeping thing that flieth is unclean unto you; they shall not be eaten. All right. Yeah, that's like your insects. All right. It says, but of all clean fowls ye shall eat. It says, ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself. Yeah, Salaki, let me go back and now. It says, but of all the clean fowls ye shall eat. Yeah, so there's like your chicken. You see? Deuteronomy 14 and 21, it says, ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself. Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in within thy gates. Yeah, to these other nations. Alright? That he may eat it, or thou may sell it unto an alien. Yeah, these other nations. Alright? Because why? This law was not given unto them. You see? And that's why you find these people eating all these abomination. All right, right. Um, and basically the same thing was you had to read it here in Deuteronomy, Salakia, in Leviticus 11. All right, might have a little bit more meat here. Let me see. I'll start at verse 21 because everything else was already covered in the last chapter. All right. I'll start at 20. It says, all fowls that creep upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. All right. So those are certain birds. Okay. It says, yet these may ye eat of every creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs about their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even these, them ye shall eat, the locust, right? And after its kind, and the ball locust after its kind, and the beetle after its kind, and the grasshopper after its kind, but all the flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. Yeah, Salakia. Yeah, it says, but of all the flying things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you, and for these shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. Alright? It says, whosoever beareth aught of carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. It says, the carcass of every beast which divided the hoof and is cloven footed, nor cheweth the cud is unclean unto you. Every one that touch them shall be unclean. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts, and whosoever Salakia upon his paws goeth upon his paws among all the manner of beasts that go on all fours, those shall be unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until evening. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean unto you. They shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth, the weasel and the moose and the tortoise and its kind. Right? Yeah, you know these things are unclean. Right? You know rats, like these Moabites, they love to eat rats, all right? And turtles, that's a delicacy in many countries, all right? And the ferret and the chameleon and the lizard and the snail and the mole, these are unclean unto you, all right? So, these are basically like your rodents, all right? You know, your mongoose, you know, hey, whatever they're called in, you know, your location, all right? Because even over here, uh, in Guyana, we have different names for these things, all right? In different parts of the countries, they have different name for these things. But basically, anything that looks like a rodent or is a rodent is unclean, all right? All right, just get a little bit more here and I close it out. It says, these are unclean amongst all the creeping thing. Whosoever doth touch them, they shall, when they dead, when they be dead, shall be unclean unto the evening, until the evening. All right, so that was basically it. All right, showing you some of the animals that uh, we could stay away from, you know, so that our bodies perform uh, well. All right, and this all what's it called, the coronavirus epidemic would have been avoided, all right, if these Moabites was eating clean food, but it's not within their spirit to do so, all right, because the Most High didn't put it in their spirit, you know. So because of 11 million or more than that, all right. Actually, I was looking at the news this morning. 56 million is quarantined right now in Wuhan and Bihan, something like that. But basically it's two provinces. All right. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakudash. Right, thou harness to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Sanitation to the oath elect that is pushing this word in four corners, the highways and byways. That I want to say, uh, Tawada Yahweh, Tawada Yahushai, Mawat La Babal. Shalom.